Hi, I'm Dr. Deborah Brunt, and today I want to talk to you about bacterial vaginosis and how nutrition and diet can play a role in chronic bacterial vaginosis. Let's start off with the basics. What is bacterial vaginosis, or commonly known as BV? Bacterial vaginosis is the most common vaginal infection in women, particularly of childbearing years. It is caused by an imbalance in the vaginal bacteria, and this is normally dominated by lactobacilli, in particular lactobacilli crispatus, iners, gasseri, and jensenii. And so for women who have a reduction in lactobacilli, there is a change in the acidity of the vagina. Acidity helps reduce the number of pathogenic or problematic bacteria, and so as lactobacilli drops off, the acidity drops off, the pH becomes higher, and more other bacteria move in, causing a discharge that can be discolored. It can have an unpleasant smell because of the amines in the discharge, which gives it kind of a fishy type of odor, and a lot of people do not like how it feels. But it also has some long-term implications in that it can help increase the risk of sexually transmitted disease, and for those that are pregnant, it is associated with increased miscarriage and pregnancy loss. So you're probably wondering how BV is treated. So generally it's treated with antibiotics, but there is a high failure rate for that. Some people also use boric acid capsules used vaginally, which is really good to help acidify the vagina and keep out those other bugs, and it can also disrupt any biofilm that develops from the bacteria that cause BV. Recurrent BV can be tricky to treat, and definitely nutrition and food plays a role in maintaining the health of the gut and vaginal microbiome. So let's take a look at which foods can help or hinder chronic BV. So a diet that is helpful for chronic BV is one that is rich in macronutrients, antioxidants, as well as prebiotics and probiotics. Here are some of the key players. So there's a study that looked at over 15,000 women that showed that women who had diets high in calcium, vitamin E, as well as folate had a reduced risk of chronic BV. Foods that are high in folate include your green leafy vegetables such as Swiss chard, spinach, kale, and also broccoli, beans, peanuts. These are all really helpful foods for keeping your folate up. Vitamin E rich foods include a lot of your seeds like sunflower seeds, as well as nuts, and also it is commonly found in avocado and kiwi fruit. We know that calcium is found in dairy, as well as leafy greens, legumes, seeds, and almonds. Another study similarly found that women who consumed a high fiber diet had more lactobacilli in their vaginal microbiome and were less likely to get bacterial vaginosis. Eating a food that is high in plant foods will increase your fiber intake and therefore be really beneficial for your gut and vaginal microbiome. So what about the foods that we should avoid for chronic bacterial vaginosis? Studies have shown that diets that are high in refined foods, processed foods, foods that have a high glycemic index, these are foods that are associated with chronic bacterial vaginosis. And most likely it is because these foods are more devoid of fiber. They don't provide the prebiotics for bacteria to munch on and proliferate. They also don't provide these nutrients that are antioxidants, and they therefore reduce inflammation. So try to avoid processed and sugary foods and increase the amount of plant foods in your diet so that you get your fiber, which is rich in prebiotics for the gut microbiome. Speaking of prebiotics, these fibers can be really beneficial to help your lactobacilli in your gut and in your vagina microbiome. Foods that are rich in prebiotics include chicory root, leek, onions, garlic, banana, apple skins. They're all really beneficial for your gut and will promote healthy microbiome. Probiotics can be also really helpful, and the best probiotics come daily through food, and we can find these in obviously yogurt, but also kefir, kombucha, kimchi, sauerkraut, all these fermented foods that once upon a time used to be part of a human diet because it was fermenting was one of the only ways we could store food without it going off. These foods not only help restore the microbiome, but they also stimulate the immune system in really beneficial ways. And don't forget vitamin C and vitamin D, because some studies have found that people with higher levels of these are less at risk of developing bacterial vaginosis. So vitamin C is found in many fruits, including citrus and apples, tomatoes, and also found in bell peppers and capsicums and things like that. And then vitamin D, obviously getting a bit of sun exposure is a really good idea, but obviously being sun smart while you're doing that. So in summary, by making some really small, simple changes in your diet, like adding some fruit or nuts with your breakfast, you can make some really simple changes to your diet that will increase the amount of plant foods in your diet, and that can help reduce your risk of chronic bacterial vaginosis. Adding more fruit and nuts and seeds to breakfast cereal, having fruits and yogurt as snacks, and ensuring that your plate is filled with a variety of vegetables. These are all really healthy ways to increase the amount of fiber, antioxidants, as well as macronutrients in your diet that's going to help have a positive benefit on your microbiome, which in turn has a positive benefit in terms of preventing BV by increasing lactobacilli. So thanks for tuning in to Men Thrive. Hopefully you have learned something new, and if you'd like to subscribe and share so that we can make more of these videos for you to enjoy.